Friends, today we bring you the story of a film where innocence slowly turns into desire. A boy and a girl find themselves stranded on a deserted island. There are no rules, no restrictions, only the wild jungle, the blue sea, and their surging emotions. As they fight for survival, a closeness develops between them that's impossible to hide. What will happen when loneliness brings them closer? And what will happen when the real world confronts them again? This is the story of Blue Lagoon, The Awakening. A romantic, old, and emotional journey that will make you wish I were on that island. So let's begin this thrilling and sensational ride. But before that, if you want to see more amazing stories and movie explanations like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. The story begins with Emma, a beautiful girl, who wakes up in the morning and starts preparing for school. Emma is one of the smartest and most popular students in her school, with many friends. Meanwhile, we see Dean, a lazy person. He wakes up late and immediately goes to play video games. His father scolds him and tells him to get ready for school. He is always worried about his son's habits. At school, Emma meets her best friend, Liz, and while they are chatting, a boy named Steven comes up and says hi to Emma. Seeing this, Liz immediately starts teasing Emma. That same day, in class, the teacher announces that all students must catch a bus for a trip at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Just then, Emma arrives a little late, and Dean bumps into her from behind. Dean jokingly says, "Sorry, Daddy's angel." The teacher then shares the rest of the trip. Liz tells Emma that Dean will also be going on the trip because his father paid for it. Liz, upon seeing Dean, makes fun of him. During lunch break, Liz tells her friends that something is going on between Emma and Steven. She then says that they'll definitely work their magic on the trip and create some romantic scene. But Emma stops her and tells her to forget all that and focus on the trip. While talking, Emma notices Dean, who is cutting an apple with a knife. Just then, a teacher comes and scolds him for bringing a knife to school and sends him to the principal. The next morning, Emma prepares for the trip and thanks her parents for letting her go. Dean, meanwhile, is completely reluctant to go. However, his father explains how much effort they put into securing him this trip. Dean finally agrees. Then, all the children board the bus. Steven asks Emma how she's doing, and she's a little embarrassed. A few hours later, everyone arrives at Trinity Island. Upon getting off the bus, a lady explains that the actual program begins tomorrow, but everyone can have fun at the pool before dinner. Emma and her friends enjoy themselves in the pool, while Steven joins them, while Dean watches alone from the balcony. Then, everyone arrives at the boat for the party. Emma notices Steven kissing another girl. Seeing this, Emma angrily leaves. Dean witnesses this and tells Emma, "Your boyfriend is having so much fun." Emma replies, "You shouldn't be concerned with all this." Suddenly, the police arrive, having received information that some students at the party were using drugs. They call everyone to the boat. Just then, Emma slips and falls into the water. Seeing this, Dean immediately jumps in, rescues her, and brings her to a small boat. The boat is tied to the larger boat with a rope, which Dean cuts. Emma asks why he did this. Dean says he doesn't want to get involved with the police. He thinks they'll get back to the larger boat once they are gone. But soon, the boat drifts far away from them. Just then, a storm begins brewing. Dean notices that their boat doesn't have a motor. Suddenly, a huge wave rocks their boat, and they both hold on tightly. By morning, the waves carry them towards the Arabian Sea. Dean's phone is dead from the water, so he asks Emma for her phone, but it's also out of network. Emma says they should have followed the party boat. Dean tells her not to worry, someone will find them. Just then, Emma spots an island in the distance. Dean turns the boat in that direction, and after much effort, they both reach it. In the boat, they find a flare gun, which Dean keeps. Then, they head toward the island, hoping to find help. Meanwhile, due to the previous day's party at the hotel, the teachers cancel the trip. Lizzie reveals that Emma hasn't returned to the hotel yet. She says she last saw her on the party boat. When everyone's attendance is taken, it's revealed that Dean is also missing. Everyone realizes that Dean and Emma are missing. The police say that this happens often. They might get lost on their own, but if they are stranded at sea, it would be difficult to find them. Meanwhile, Dean and Emma head into the island, and after a short distance, they see a beautiful lake. Dean is very impressed by the place, and Dean tells Emma to take his photo, but Emma angrily refuses, saying, "We're stuck here, and you're having fun." She explains that she needed good marks on her project to get into a good university on this trip. If we don't get out soon, everything will be ruined. The two then walk for a long time and reach the shore of the island, but find no help. They decide to return to the boat, but find it missing. The waves have swept it away, leaving only a life jacket lying there. After walking all day, they are exhausted. Dean lights a fire and decides to spend the night there. Dean sees Emma shivering from the cold, so he takes off his shirt and gives it to her. They both talk about how maybe their parents will find them by tomorrow. Dean wakes up and sees that Emma is gone. He goes looking for her and finds Emma writing SOS in large letters on the sand. Dean asks what she's doing. Emma replies, trying to save her life. Dean then goes for a swim, and Emma watches him silently. When Emma goes to fetch water, she realizes someone is watching her. She gets scared and moves away. The two later make a small hut out of leaves to protect themselves from the sun. After a while, Emma writes SOS again in large letters on the seashore, so a rescue team can see it. They start searching for fruit. Dean finds a banana tree, and they eat their fill of bananas. It's now very hot. Emma can't put on or take off her long pants because she's a little shy. So, she cuts her pants and makes shorts. Then, she sees Dean sleeping in the hut, so she lies down next to him. Suddenly, Dean turns and places his hand on Emma. Emma enjoys Dean's closeness, and she doesn't say anything. The next day, while Emma is bathing in the journey, Dean arrives. Emma immediately says, "I'm bathing here, so get out of here." Dean laughs and replies, "You were the one who told me to stand nearby like a god." Emma turns serious and says that she feels like someone else is on the island. Meanwhile, news reports about Emma and Dean's disappearance begin airing on the news channel. As night falls, Emma tells Dean that she misses home. Then, suddenly, the story takes a twist. While searching for something in the woods, Dean finds a human skull. Seeing this, Emma becomes frightened and says that someone else might have been trapped here before, and if we don't get help, we could end up like this too. Dean explains to her, "We're not alone. We have our parents behind us. As long as we support each other, no one can defeat us, and we will definitely survive." Saying this, Dean kisses Emma. This was Emma's first time, and she enjoys it. Gradually, they both push their limits, and just then, a strong storm hits. Emma wakes up smiling, having enjoyed the storm for the first time. But as soon as she looks up, Dean is gone. Frightened, she calls out to him and runs into the woods. There, she sees Dean digging a hole. Then, Emma slips and falls, injuring her knee. Dean immediately cleans her wound and reassures her that everything will be fine. They return to journey. There, Dean tells the story of his mother, how she died in a car accident. Emma listens attentively. Just then, it starts raining, and Dean starts enjoying himself. Emma smiles, and they dance in the rain. Dean plucks a flower and puts it in Emma's hair. Emma laughs and says, "I want to enjoy the storm again." Dean jokingly says he'll call another storm for her. News reports indicate that it's been a full month since Emma and Dean went missing. The police believe they are no longer alive, so the search is called off. Meanwhile, on the island, Dean tells Emma about the green light his mother told him about. A green light shines on the ocean at sunset, but Dean had never seen it with his own eyes. Time passes, and the two begin to enjoy the island's beauty. They swim in the ocean, bathe, and have a lot of fun. During this time, they become very close to each other. One day, Emma asks, "When was your first time, and with whom?" Dean smiles and explains that he had a friend in school who was older than him. Now Dean understands that this is Emma's first time. He laughs and asks, "So, how did you like it?" Emma laughs and says, "It was good. It's just that the storm blew the sand up into some strange places." Then jokingly, she says, "I need more experience." Dean lovingly replies, "I'll keep getting it, my love." After this, they go to the forest to pick fruit. Suddenly, the sound of an airplane comes from the sky. They run towards the open plain. Dean tries to find the flare gun in Emma's bag, but cannot find it. By then, the ship has moved away. Emma also checks her bag, but cannot find it. Now they suspect that someone else is on the island who has stolen their things. They go to the beach for several days, but no ship or help arrives. The two sit in their hut, dejected, and discuss the possibility of this life being theirs. At that moment, Dean sees a small group of people from the woods. He hears the sound of an animal. He goes to look, and Emma follows. Then they spot a black leopard. Dean runs and falls to the ground, but he's holding a blood-stained knife. He had killed the leopard. Meanwhile, Emma and Dean's parents and friends had accepted that they wouldn't return. Everyone had returned to their lives. But on the island, Emma and Dean had learned to survive. They hunted, made huts out of leaves, and lived happily together. A few days later, Emma begins vomiting. Dean nervously asks, "You pregnant?" Emma laughs and says, "No, I just vomited." She was exhausted and lays down next to Dean. Suddenly, their old things start falling from above. They both look up and discover a monkey sitting on a tree, throwing their things down. The monkey has the same flare gun they were looking for earlier. Emma lures the monkey with a banana, and the monkey throws the gun down. At that moment, they hear the sound of a helicopter. They both quickly run towards the open field. Emma loads the flare gun and fires it into the air. The helicopter spots them. Finally, after 3 months, they are rescued. Their parents and friends cheer as they return to the airport. Everyone has tears in their eyes and smiles on their faces. But now, after returning home, everything feels different. That same night, Dean comes to visit Emma. They talk about how strange it feels to be back home after leaving the island. Dean tries to kiss her, but Emma laughs and says, "My parents come to check on me every 10 minutes. Dean smiles and says, "Okay, I should go now." Emma tells him that a big party has been organized to celebrate their return home, and he must attend. The next day, everyone gathers for the party. Emma's parents express their emotional gratitude for their daughter and Dean's return. Dean sits alone, away from the crowd. Stacy asks him why he's sitting apart. Dean simply smiles and says he doesn't like to mingle with crowds. After a while, Dean gestures for Emma, but Emma ignores him. Dean quietly leaves the party. Slowly, everything returns to normal. Emma has become quite famous, but Dean remains single. Whenever they meet, they communicate their feelings through their gazes without saying a word. A few days later, Emma calls Dean. but Dean doesn't answer. One evening, Stacy comes into Emma's room and says, "We all missed you so much when you disappeared. Mom and Dad were devastated. We thought we'd lost you forever, but now that you're back, we're so happy." Emma smiles and says, "You're my favorite sister." They both decide to go to prom together. Meanwhile, Dean goes to his mother's grave and cries bitterly. He misses her deeply. That same night, while watching TV at home, his father comes up to him and says, "Would you like to wear my jacket to the party?" On the day of the party, Emma arrives with her sister, Stacy. Liz pulls her outside and says she has a surprise for her. As Emma emerges, she sees Dean standing in the rain, wearing the same coat, waiting for her. All the moments flash before Emma's eyes: the jungle, the zoo, the storm, the leopard, the innocent first love. She quietly leaves the party and stands next to Dean. Amidst the raindrops, they gaze into each other's eyes. Without a word, they embrace and kiss each other passionately. And the story ends with this beautiful scene. After watching the video, if you too would like to be stranded on a deserted island with your crush, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe the Explain Movie. And see you in the next video.